Hello, beautiful being. I was just watching my last video based on being too slow. And there is a pattern that is constantly showing itself that have the feeling this is the pattern that will stop any addiction in your life, if you have any, but also will stop you not necessarily being too slow, but give you the right perspective so that your life starts to flow easy for you. And actually, I have the feeling it's a progress that is implemented by God. And it's a progress made with absolute love. But our mind really doesn't like it. So we are in a complete restrictive, hard for ourselves blaming situation when we're in this process that I want to talk about in this video. I don't have a name for it. I just feel inspired. It's already late. I don't know why I suddenly get inspiration. Well, it's already almost midnight, but I want to get this out there. I want to share this with you. So let's come on this exploration together where we go into this topic that is a form of self love, but I have the feeling a lot of people have trouble with this pattern that we're going to explore in this video. Maybe the name will even come up while I'm just sharing this. So let's go. Thank you for being here. Thank you for wanting to go on this exploration with me. The pattern goes like this. You want to change something in your life, but it seems to be coming back and back and back and back. Maybe you want to wake up early, which is one of my examples. Wake up early, but constantly it's getting later and later and later. Another thing that is an example is quitting smoking, right? You want to stop smoking, you try it, and it goes on for 1 or 2 weeks, and it comes back to your life, and then you go again, and maybe you go for 3 months, and then it comes back. In my scenario, I went from 1.5 year without smoking, and for magical reasons, it came back. And that's the moment I got the first insight into this pattern. Now, the thing is, it happened once with me with smoking, and I will go into that story in a little bit. But also, it started happening with me this week where I was talking to my coach and I was like, I want to have more structure. I want to wake up earlier. I want to wake up before the sun rises. I have a whole thing that I want to do. I want to, like I have all these things that I wanted to do. And I tried and I crashed, and I tried and I crashed again, and I tried and I crashed again. And I was talking with him about this problem. And with crashing, I mean, it kind of stopped, or the plan kind of fell in the water in a way, again and again and again. And I was talking with my coach about it. This one was about waking up early so that I could do the structure that I had planned for myself early. Because if I would go later, right? If I wake up instead of 7 or 6 a.m., I wake up at 10 a.m., my whole day started shifting. And then I only can, I have a pretty big morning routine with meditation, with yoga, with exercise, ideally, with making celery juice. And so before I can start working, it's maybe 2 p.m., 3 p.m. And I find myself judging. Oh my God, dude, 3 p.m. and you start working now, Start myself blaming myself. Like, man, you had a whole day planned for you and you start at 3 p.m. I was hard on myself. This is the second time I got this pattern. And I went to the cinema today with a great friend of mine. And I was talking about this pattern. He's like, holy shit, I am experiencing this same pattern when it comes to working out and getting into shape for more than 3 months now. And I haven't been able to figure out what to do with it. We had a beautiful conversation about it while we were walking. Now, let's go into, because I feel a couple of examples here. I know I'm talking fast, I'm inspired, there's like a lot of information flowing around right now. The structure will come. There is one example here, my first example, when it came to smoking. I was smoking on and off. Um, and at one point, I just stopped. I went traveling and I completely stopped smoking. I was like, okay, this is a good moment. I'm going to change location and stop smoking. And we traveled, and for I stopped also smoking weed, which was an addiction of mine. Stop smoking, and 1.5 years into nothing, and not even needing it, and being so happy not having to smoke anymore. I live in Turkey, in the south of Turkey, in Dacia, a very beautiful small village, and there is a beautiful cat lady, vecino. I want to say the Spanish word vecino, neighbor. We have a cat lady neighbor next to our house that we're renting, and she likes to smoke and she likes to have a lot of cats, and she constantly cooks for us. A super friendly, super loving woman, big heart, and she smokes all the time. And I was just sometimes coming by, and for me, smoking was a very social thing. So at one point, I was like, "Ah, come, let's do a cigarette together." Right, let's just do a cigarette together. Like you've been so loving and you're smoking all the time. I would love to connect with you on this level. So we do she gives me a cigarette. We do a cigarette together. Of course, the first cigarette after 1.5 year of smoking is like, whoa, it's not nice at all. Um, and we continue the conversation, and I'm about to leave. And before I'm leaving, she said, like, Psst, Phil. And she just gives me this hand of 20 self shot cigarettes. I'm like, "Well, I really don't want that." But she was also a woman you couldn't say no to. She's like, yes, yes, you have to take it. No, 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 sorry, I don't want to smoke. Yes, come on, Phil, it's for you. I'm like, oh, so I take it and didn't use it at first, and every time I went to her, she gave me more cigarettes, and I started smoking maybe one more at home. Smoking one with her, one more at home, and maybe 3 a day, maybe 4 a day, 5 a day, and at one point it went 8 to 10 a day again, right? And I was sitting there, and this is the first time this insight came to me. I was like sitting there, blaming myself, like, you're smoking again, you're smelling out of your mouth. I don't want to kiss my girlfriend anymore because I'm smelling. My clothes are stinking. My lungs feel heavy, my throat feel heavy. Why am I in this situation again? Like while I'm while I'm smoking, while I'm sitting, how did that came back in my life? Like wow, and it was like almost God given. Like I got more than 100 cigarettes for free. She was just constantly giving me. I didn't have to pay for it. It just come to me. I just attracted it, right? I was like, what is happening? And I heard a voice. I don't remember if I was connected with the Akashic Records or not, but I was definitely practicing Akashic Records at that time. So my connections were opening, my guidance was opening. And I asked that question, oh man, why did this came back to me? And I immediately got an answer. Because you are not loving yourself. You're not loving the version of you that smokes as much as the version of you that does not smoke. And I was like, wow, that's so true. That is so true. I didn't love myself. I was blaming myself. I was judging myself when I was smoking. And you're stinking, and you're weak, and how can such a nicotine chemical take control over your mind? And judging, judging, judging. I was just a lower person when I was smoking in my mind than me not smoking. It was really like the value of me went down when I was smoking. And that was so true. And then I went on to going, because of that guidance, I was like, I need to love myself anyway. It doesn't matter if I smoke or doesn't smoke. It doesn't matter if I drink or doesn't drink. It doesn't matter if I go, gym or doesn't gym, work out or not, or yoga or not, or even though it hurts when you make a promise to yourself and you don't complete it, but what even hurts more is blaming yourself for it. losing confidence for it, judging yourself for it. I need to love myself for the being that I am, for the person that I am. And anyway, whatever action I'm in, right? At least that love that I can cultivate in myself, in my opinion, would be closer to love of the divine, love of the universe, love of Mother Nature, love of God. It felt for me, and the more I want, my personal intention is I want to become pure. I want to become one with those energies, one with those qualities. So I started to learn how to love myself. So instead of stopping it, I started to smoke and just watch all the patterns, watch my thoughts, watch my thinkings, and then just saying to it, yeah, I know I'm stinking and I love myself. Yes, I know my lungs are getting worse because of this and I love myself. Yes, etc., etc. Constantly adding, I love myself. I got that from one of my favorite teachers, Kyle Cease. He has this exercise where you constantly, I love this and I love this and it's okay and I love this and it's okay to be. I allow this to be here. Constantly, with every thought you're saying, you just add to that, right? Very powerful exercise, and I was just starting doing it. And at one point, it became so easy to stop because there was no weight, there was no baggage, there was no judgment. Me that was not smoking had the same value than me that was smoking. Similar values. It was not this with this at way more weight, it was this. And because of that, it was just a choice. It had no emotional difference anymore. I just loved myself in both ways. It was just a choice like, do I want to smoke right now? Do I not want to smoke right now? Um, and it just was just like, okay, I know when I'm smoking, I'm gonna stink. I'm gonna have a bad taste in my mouth. I'm gonna feel weaker. I'm gonna produce probably some things in my lungs and my throat, or I cannot smoke. And that's also perfectly. So the whole emotional need and all of these things disappeared because of loving myself. And I know the self love is a cheesy thing, but it's not a cheesy thing. It's, I believe, one of the most important and beautiful and powerful things that we can do and we need to align our lives, to make our life, our own lives and this community life and this world life better. It all starts from that place. So that was my first insight when I started to see this pattern like, oh, that's interesting. It seems like this is coming back and back and back, not because I'm weak, not because there's anything different. It's because I'm not loving myself in these scenarios. And God, or the universe, or the higher intelligence that we're living in, the quantum soup, whatever you want to call it, is bringing that to you again and again because it's showing you, hey, you're not loving yourself here. Hey, this is not aligned with me. This is not aligned with me. This is not aligned with me. And it's so patient that it will keep on doing this until you get the lesson, until you're like, or loving yourself, or on the other, completely done with it, right? In both cases, the completely done with it or the loving neutralizes the playing field. In both cases, you're like, I don't care if I choose right or left. I don't care if I choose yes or no. And the self-love for me is an easier path than the I'm completely done with it, because the completely done with it path, you need to hit rock bottom. You need to be at a really gnarly place to just like snap and just say, fuck. Sorry for my French. Anyway, this is what I want to explore deeper in, because I want to know already if you feel resonant with this. If this pattern is coming back, please let me know in the comments. Please, let's have as many examples, because you are not alone, and you are not alone. I'm not alone. We all experience this, right? And we're gonna go into a very nice solution. I really feel this exploration moves into a solution. So I I know that. I even tell that story on a regular basis to my friends about this insight. But I was not seeing that it was happening again with the waking up early. But I started to judge myself. Like I said earlier, like, man, it's 10 and you just wake up at 10. Oh man, and you just start working at 2 or 3, like what can we do? We only have an afternoon and then we already know to go to bed. And you understand that self-judgment. I don't want to go too deep in it, but we all know that form of self-judgment. So when I was talking with my coach, I realized, this is the same pattern, and it will come back and then back and back and back and back until I love myself. I love myself, that part of me that wakes up late. I love myself, that part that starts working at 4 p.m. I love myself, judging myself from doing so. I love myself, blaming myself from doing so. It's all of it, right? It's not just loving the fact, it's the fact, but also the reaction on the fact, and also the reaction on top of the reaction on the fact, and etc. etc. Love all of that. Like love the judgment, love the blame, love the waking up late, love the I can only work 2 hours, love the tiredness, love the everything, love the whole deal. And as soon as I love the whole deal, what starts happening is it will disappear. So I was talking with him and I said, one thing that I need to do right now is I will stop all my alarms because I want to be observing me and loving me in the moments where I wake up late. And yesterday, it's so crazy because this only happened a couple days ago. Yesterday, I went to bed. It was 2 a.m. So it was late for me at the moment. And I was going to think, I'm going to wake up at 11 or, I'm going to wake up at 10 or 11. I didn't set any alarm though. I was just like, let me go. Let me see. If it's 11, it's 11. Then I can be in it. And what the thing was, I woke up. I still snoozed a couple times, had very crazy dreams, very trippy dreams. But after I woke up, I felt amazing. I felt incredible. And I thought, like, this is going to be 11 o'clock or this is going to be late. And I wake up and I look at the time and it's not even 9. It is like, whoa. So, and I had an amazing sleep and I didn't pressure myself and I woke up earlier than I thought I would. Interesting. Interesting, this, right? So it starts to happen again and again that we start to fully love, or like experiences are happening, especially when it comes to change, and the change becomes very hard somehow. Gymming, eating, doing yoga, waking up earlier, starting a business, um, learning a new practice, going through a course. There are so many different. I have the feeling this pattern will keep on showing up again and again, and it will stay hard for you and for me when we are not loving ourselves, when we are judging somehow that part of us that is not doing well, or is being lazy, or is procrastinating, or da 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 da. And it can go into such a rabbit hole of lower confidence, which expresses in all areas of life. So it can really go down a very deep drain. And if you're someone at the moment in a really deep drain and you don't even have the feeling you can conjure up any love in yourself, first of all, I want to say thank you for going this deep. You have an opportunity to catapult way up high. And I would love to for you to start by just one step, and that is to love that you're here, love that you're watching this video, love that there is, even though you went deep, there is still a you that wants to change. Even though maybe life has not given you the right mindset to this, there is still some spark in you that wants to change. Otherwise, you would never clicked on this video. So let's love that. And maybe you can think of another thing to love. It can be small. Maybe you're the room you're in, the technology you're watching this from, that is possible. Beautiful. And then you can just start slowly building that love motor until you are able to love and accept yourself for the things that you're doing, quote unquote, wrong to the ego, wrong. Right? So I went today to my friend and he was also like, whoa, man, I've been struggling with this for 3 months. And he even asked, like, I don't know how to love. I don't know how to love. And we had a little bit of a conversation where we also needed to split ways early. And when I came home, I had the feeling I needed to reply back to him because I didn't have the right, I didn't give him the full answer of what he was asking for. I still didn't reply back to him. Maybe I should send him this video as a like, hey man, I'm sorry. But here's the whole video. I made a whole video for you. But I made it for all of you who are watching, of course. It is of absolute beauty to start living in a place. Maybe you already wrote down in the chat an area that you are at the moment wanting to change and it doesn't work. Let's play a game here. Let's go interactive. Let's turn this wisdom immediately into practicality. I would love for you to take a pen and some notes. And I would love for you, first of all, write on the top, what do you want to change? What is the topic you want to change? Is it, like whatever topic it is. Learning something, changing something, stopping a bad habit, starting a new habit, whatever. Write it down. And then first, we're gonna make a list. I want you actually, I don't know if you're able to see this. I want you to, so here's gonna be the topic. And I want you to make a little, kind of 2/3 of the page. I want you to make a line, vertical line. Yeah? I don't know if you see this. Then on the left side, you're going to think about all the thoughts that you have been telling yourself when it is not working. Right? Write it all down. Be honest with yourself. You don't have to share this with everyone, but it's about you and yourself. And just take a couple moments. Maybe you can stop this video and you just write it all down. Yeah. And then I will see you. So please stop now, and then let's continue with the next part. You probably guess what's the next part, but it's going to be so healing. So stop the video and see you soon. So you have a list of things that you have written down. The second part is going to repeat that, say it out loud, and say after that, and I love that about me. You can leave about me out if you want, but just say it and say, and I love that about me. I woke up at 10, like something like that. I woke up super late today, and I love that about me. I didn't work out today, and I love that about me. I feel sad about not working out today, and I love that about me. I feel that I could have done better, and I love that about me. And you continue. This is something to maybe do in your own time, but please continue this exercise. Maybe after the video, maybe you can stop it again. continue this exercise and do this second part, because you will feel that there is a certain thing in your system that will slowly open up. You will feel that there is a certain grudge that you're holding that starts to release, and a heart opening in a way. And it can be manifested in many different ways, but this is a beautiful exercise for you. Now, I'm very curious what is going to happen at after this, because when you start to fully love the situation, when you start to fully enjoy it, there is no good you and bad you, right? There is no good you and bad you. There is you that's loving you, no matter what you do. It's such a nice rhyming thing. You can riff on this. I love it. So, what I would love for you to experience very soon, because it can happen fast. As soon as you shift this, it can happen very fast. I would love for you to experience that if you do it or if you not do it, you love yourself anyway in both situations. I would love for you to experience actually to become aware of all these thoughts that you were saying to yourself and to replace them with I love that thoughts. It will raise your frequency. It will raise the frequency of your thoughts, of the words you say to yourself and to others. When you're meeting with a friend or with a conversation, instead of saying, I really don't like it that I blah, 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 you start the conversation differently. You set the tone of the conversation differently. That conversation will have a different outcome, maybe different inspiration for both of you. Then actions start to come out of the words you speak. And it continues. We all know that from our thoughts comes our words, from our words comes our actions, from our actions our behavior, and our behavior controls for a very big life, how for a very big part, how our life looks like. Hello, Snoopy. I'm recording a video. Oh, come here. I know I didn't. I got inspired. I wanted to create a video.
Oh, sorry.
No problem. Oh, you're so cute. Come here. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for being here all the way to the end, and even with the interruptions that I don't know if I will keep in or out. I think I actually want to keep them in. I have the feeling there's so much flashy editing on YouTube these days. There's already flashes behind me. There's people making a photograph. I even might put in, sometimes you start a video and it's like this photosensitive content might bring up epileptic seizures and stuff like that. I don't hope it's that bad, but I know there was a photo shoot happening in the apartment across the street, and I was just like, I have to make it. I have to create this. I even forgot to eat. It's almost 12. I even forgot to eat. Anyway, that's how excited I am for this as well. That's how excited I feel bringing this information to you. I want to live way more on inspiration, even though it's not scheduled, it's not scripted, it's not anything like that. I have the feeling that if I trust that whenever I'm inspired and I feel it in my heart and I want to talk to it about it, and I bring it with the energy I feel inside of me, it will come to a conclusion. It will be beautiful content. It will serve you in a way. Even though it's messy and chaotic and unstructured, probably we still got some structure out of it. Let's conclude. Yes, we all have patterns where we want to change something and it becomes very hard. Most of the time, the things that are hard to change, we start to talk badly about it. But actually, it's God giving you a perfect opportunity to look at it, and it will give that opportunity again and again and again and again, so that you find at one point the time to love it or to drop both judgments altogether. I choose the path of love, and this one was about the path of love. So we did a little exercise where we went to that. And I would love for you, if you didn't finish it or if you didn't do it, please finish it or please go back and do it because it's so healing. Your mind is maybe like, I don't know, loving. I Your mind will not like this exercise, but your being, your soul, your heart will love it, and you will be free from whatever judgment or pattern you're experiencing because the whole weight has dropped off. What we resist persists. I really love that quote, and it's so true with this one as well. What we resist, also when it comes to self judgment and everything, we kind of hold on to it emotionally. But when we find complete love for all, there is nothing to hold on. You can do whatever you want, and you will feel good about you. It's a very freeing thing that we have been talking about in this exercise. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. Feel free to share this. You will really help me with sharing this. You will also really help me with giving me feedback, liking it. I would love to keep on sharing this. I would love to keep on doing this full time. And you will greatly help me with that by doing that. So thank you. If it was any help to you, let me know. I sent you so much love, especially self love. Okay, I have to stop talking. Bye bye.